Okay, we're going to build a little synthesizer here. So we're going to use Max MSP. So open up Max and then choose New Patcher, and you'll end up with a window that looks like this, more or less. So you'll be building yours in this. In mine, we can see the end result here, but I'll use this space over here to build. So let's build this one from the bottom up. So what I'm going to do first is unlock the patcher, because we can't do anything until we unlock the patcher. So you press Command E, and if you look way down here in the lower corner, it'll be unlocked. If you press Command E again, it locks it, as you can see down here. We unlock it. So the first object that we need is this output. This is an audio output. And so you type the letter N, and you get this little window like this. Then you type EZ, and what we want is EZDAC. So if you press the down arrow, then you can move to EZDAC, and then press the return key, and you get one of these. All right, next thing we need is a way to control our output. And so I'm going to use this object here, which is called a gain object. So again, type the letter N, and then GA, and this is the object that we want, gain with a little tilde after it. Position that like so. And then I connect the output of the gain object to the EZDAC. DAC stands for digital to analog converter. So I connect that up. Now at this point it'll only come out of the left speaker, so we want to actually connect that one up again with this one. So we'll hear it out of both speakers. Okay, now we need our sound sources here are these oscillators over here. So let's first create the oscillators. So I'll make the first one, type the letter N, CY, and then choose cycle. So the down arrow until we get to the cycle with the little tilde, and then the return will make an object like this. Type N again. This time we'll do phaser. So I type PH, and then phasers, this one down here. Give myself a little space in between them like so. The next one, type the N, REC, down arrow to rect, and then I'll move that right there. The next one, saw. So these are all basic waveforms. The cycle is a sine wave. Phaser is I think a square wave. No, it's a saw. I don't know what kind of wave it is. Some kind of wave. And then saw, and then we'll do a triangle wave. Triangle wave is tri. Don't use triangle. That's a different thing. Tri is for the triangle wave. Now each one of these waveforms has a slightly different harmonic content, and you'll hear that when we plug them in, and you can listen to them. Okay, so let's build in a way to actually switch between them. So for that, we're going to use the selector object. Type N to get the little box, SEL, and then down arrow until we get to selector with a tilde. Okay, now before pressing return, type a space and then 5, because we have 5 little waveforms. We want to be able to select between them. All right, so now I get this. So our output from the selector then will go to the input of our gain object. And then we have to connect each of the sound sources, the oscillators. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect cycle, not to the first one, but to the second inlet here. Phaser is going to go to the third, rect rectangle is going to go to the 4th, sawtooth is going to go to the 5th, and triangle to the last one. Okay, now we need to actually have a way to tell the selector object which one of these we want to play. And we do that with these little gray objects. These are called messages. So if I put my mouse right here and I type the letter M, not N, but M, I get this, and I'll type in 1. That'll be for the cycle object. Type the M again, 2, M again for 3, M again for 4, and lastly M, and type in a 5. All right, now all of these go to the same place. They go to the control inlet of this object down here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click here and then connect these up quickly. This is a nice trick. You can connect them up whatever way you want, but I used a fancy way. Okay, now the only thing missing now is to tell the oscillator objects what frequency we want them to play. So we're going to do that in kind of a fancy way. Create a message object, but leave it blank. And then connect it to all of the cycle, all of the oscillators. So this one, this one, this one, this one, lastly this one. And then we need to create this, the thing that gives us the actual frequency. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to type an N to get a new object, letter K, and then arrow down here to K slider. That gives me something that looks familiar, like a keyboard. And then the fancy object which translates the MIDI signal, the MIDI number into a frequency. So type N and then MT, and so the object we want is called M2F, MIDI to frequency. Press return, then connect this keyboard up to the inlet of the MIDI to frequency object, and then connect this to both this inlet and this one. And you'll learn why I did that after a bit. Anyway, so now at this point, our synthesizer should work. So the way I would get it to work is I click on the Easy DAC to turn it on. You can see it changes color. Like it's gray, it's off, slightly purple, it's on. I need to turn the volume up a little bit. Then I need to play a note here. And of course I need to tell the selector which one of my signals to let through. So let's let the cycle through. Here's the phaser. Here's the rectangle. Here's the saw. Here's the triangle. So I was right. I think the phaser is a kind of sawtooth wave. Anyway, then you can see the frequency up here. If I play middle C, it's 261.62558 cycles per second. Twice as high, a little bit lower. Anyway, there you go.